Hi everyone. Well, the mercury's dropping, our market is in full spring mode, and I must say that there's a lot of people out and about. This week's show, well, we're bursting at the seams. We have some pointers for fire safing your home this summer and keeping your family safe, especially in the hills areas. We look at a magnificent home in Stirling that everyone would love to call their home. Now, we'd love to hear from you. Remember, we're live and interactive, so call us on 1-800-TOOP. That is 1-800-TOOP, and we'll take your calls at the end of the show. Now, in news last week, South Australia is proving to be a very stable market, the most stable on the mainland. And that's despite the interest rate rise talks and, of course, despite the wind back of the First Home Owners Grant. Now, at the moment, there's a lot of overseas people circulating the market, so what impact do you think they'll have? Let's have a look.
I think it's good for the real estate market. It shows a little bit of stability.
Oh, well, they've got more money to spend. We've obviously got a cheaper market here at Adelaide, and I think it's good value for money.
I was watching a TV program where they were suggesting that people in Melbourne in particular are buying houses and just leaving them vacant. Overseas investors, so that's not helping to house people in South Australia, and it's artificially putting the price up.
Oh, people have got more capacity to buy properties. The price at the moment in South Australia is lower than all the other states for medium price. So there's more of a demand here because people can afford it, and whether the first time buyer's grant exists or not, people are still going to be buying property.
Well, people are rushing in to buy, and I think they had a similar situation in America where people were buying above their means, buying at a lower interest rate, and when the interest rate went up, then they just walked out of their houses.
Now, with summer fast approaching, it's time to think about fireproofing our properties. And we're not just talking about acreage, we're talking about suburban properties. And joining me here today, from the front lines, if you like, is Brenton Eden. Hello, Brenton.
Hello, Anthony.
Now, Brenton, just for the viewers, just a quick rundown of your part in the equation of country fires.
I'm one of the state coordinators for the Country Fire Service, so on a roster throughout the year.
So you've been pretty heavily involved with regard to 2 weeks ago, last week, with the fires and that. What's it looking like? There seems to be a whole new paradigm in terms of fires with what's happening at the moment. Just talk to us about what's changed since last year.
Well, I think your viewers would recognise that since last year we've moved into a new national approach to warning the community, and last week with the declaration of catastrophic fire bans, the first issued in Australia, we really raised the profile on how we're trying to get the community to be aware of the forthcoming fire danger season.
Now, I did notice talking to Koshi on Channel 7 National last week, and there was mention of Prepare, Act, Survive. Now, what does that mean in practical terms?
What that means in practical terms is that's the trigger we're asking the community to recognise now, to say well before the event, prepare the actions that you will need to take today, tomorrow and into the future to make sure that you can survive if you're in a bushfire prone area or even travelling through a bushfire prone area.
Now, you talked about the catastrophic rating last week. That sort of really cut through for me, and it was a bit scary, to be honest. There is a national fire danger warning system of extreme and catastrophic. Talk to us about that.
Okay, well, your viewers would be aware that last year we declared fire bans, and we declare them when we get to a fire danger index, a number of 50. This year we've moved to 2 scales beyond that because we've realised the fires in Victoria, our previous Wangari fires, the fires of Canberra are showing extreme fire behaviour well above what we're used to. It's probably an impact of climate change and other events. So we've now brought in a catastrophic fire danger warning, which comes in when the fire danger index is 100, and I guess that's the one that's creating most of the community interest or concern.
So just to give us some reference point, the fires of last week, the index of 100 is catastrophic. At what rate or what number was that rated at?
Last week we had fire danger indexes of 215 in Port Augusta by 11:15 in the morning. So people who think that we're going to see extreme fire behaviour late in the afternoon on a typical summer day, it's not the case. We can get extreme fire behaviour early in the morning And that's why we're saying in our new warnings, prepare, act and survive. It may mean you've left that area the day before.
Just a matter of interest, what was the slogan last year? Was it the same?
No, it wasn't. Last year we had the slogan Stay and Defend. The Victorian fires really focused us on whether the stay was the key message. And I guess from a marketing point, the key message now is that very first word, prepare.
So let's say that we live in a fire area. By the way, just define for me, it's not just farms, is it? What's a fire area?
Well, a fire area is now recognised as anywhere from the urban fringe out into the rural community. Think back to the fires of Canberra. Those residents in Canberra would have thought, I'm a metropolitan citizen, I'm living in a suburb, this is a rural issue, this is a bushfire, we don't have bushfires in urban areas. Canberra showed that to devastating results. So bushfire areas, we are now saying, are those areas which are declared but have high fuel loadings, but so much of the Adelaide area is bordered by these zones.
So does that basically run us from Athelston around the hills through to Belair and Coromandel Valley, or?
Well, for the metropolitan area, for sure, but there are high fuel loads, as we're aware, in the Clare Valley of last week, significant fires, Lower Eyre Peninsula, the Flinders Ranges, wherever you've got large amounts of vegetation and inhabitants mixing in the same spot, you've got fire danger ratings that people need to be aware of.
So we're talking about a lot of people. How do these people find out about their fire warning? Where do they find out?
In terms of their fire warning, they'll find out the day before and sometimes 48 hours before. The Bureau will give a warning that the following 2 days we may see catastrophic fire behaviour. But the day before, around about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the Country Fire Service will issue fire bans, and our fire bans now are enhanced from what they were last year. We will say whether the rating is extreme, severe or catastrophic. And so the community need to be listening to the media, looking at websites, particularly the CFS website, so they're aware of what's coming in the next 24 hours.
So just on that for the viewers, the CFS website is what?
cfs.sa.gov.au, and I guess if you can't remember that, Google South Australian Country Fire Service and it'll come up.
Right.